Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello students. So right now I'm recording my presentation about the material. The first material we are about to study, that is lexicology and lexicography. It is our second meeting. So I'm sure when the first time you read this material you must find some confusion because this is new for you. This one is new for you, and while at the same time you will find almost similar words, but exactly they share different meaning. So I will discuss the materials comprehensively, hopefully, and let's pay attention to this. Okay, to begin with this course, which is entitled Lexical Studies, which is also called Lexicology, it is wise for us to know what exactly the meaning of two terminologies. So we focus on the meaning of lexicology and lexicography. The first one is lexicology. As you may have read, that lexicology is derived from the word lexis and logos, or science, while lexis is the study of word. So lexicology is the study of word. Lexis is word. All words exist in a particular language. Lexis, that's the definition of lexis. While logi or logos means science. So lexicology is a study of words of a particular language. For example, the study of Indonesian words, that sort of thing. And here you will find similar words like lexis and word and lexicon, vocabulary. Let's discuss that. For the purpose, lexicology may be defined as the study of lexis. I've said before, it's vocabulary or lexicon. Now, lexicon means like a packet or a set of vocabulary in a particular language. In a simple way, you can see lexicon as a glossary to make it familiar, like the glossary of economics or the glossary of banking or the glossary of arts. Of course, they will share different vocabulary or words, with which, for example, one word can have different meaning. For example, the word bank, BANK, bank in terms of let's say geography will mean the slopy area of river. I mean the or in Indonesian tanah yang menjorok ke sungai itu bank, pinggiran sungai. While in banking or economic glossary, it will mean a place to save money. That's what's so called as lexicon, to simplify it. Lexicon you can simplify to glossary, so that each field, setiap ilmu pengetahuan, it has its own glossary of words. That's what's so called lexicon. So lexis, the whole words in a language, of course the official one, lexis. Lexicon is the categorization based on field or glossary, you can say that. And then since our main focus in this meeting is on the definition of lexicology to avoid lengthy digression, we use words somewhat loosely, agak bebas, in the usual traditional of sense of a sequence of letters bounded by space. Now, a comparison of the words vocabulary, lexis, and lexicon. I'm sure you are confused of it. Vocabulary, lexis, and lexicon would show that three items may be considered more or less synonymous. Ini tiga sekalipun kelihatannya sama, tapi mereka sebetulnya tidak sama. Keterangannya, However, it must be added that the first is more colloquial. Colloquial means that according to this module, the vocabulary is expression or any words used in everyday conversation. So one person sometimes, or one person must have his own different vocabulary compared to other person. That's why sometimes when you have a conversation, you must find somewhat in a popular way, somewhat like roaming. Yeah, when you do not know what someone says, and you are still thinking of it. What is meant by this? What is meant by that? Now that's vocabulary, and vocabulary is you can say subjective. Yeah, one person may have different vocabulary. While lexis, I have stated earlier. Oh, sorry. The third more learned and technical. Yeah, the third is lexicon. As I have stated earlier, yeah, it is more technical because it is related to particular field. Yeah, and it is already been recorded in a dictionary or glossary. For example, a glossary of law, a glossary of Islam, and so on and so forth. And the second may be situated halfway between between the other two, yeah, because lexis is in the middle of vocabulary and lexicon, because lexis consists of individual own vocabulary, and also it has lexicon as a part of it. Yeah, what we speak must be based on lexis, yeah, words of a particular language, and the words we use in a particular field or lexicon must be the part of lexis. Jadi simpelnya lexis itu kan intinya lah, kita pas ngobrol sehari-hari itu kan pasti pakai suatu bahasa. Nah, pasti ada vocab yang masuk ke lexis, yang official ya, yang umpama kalau Indonesia EYD gitu kan masuk lexis ini. Kalau lexicon kan vocabulary atau kata-kata di glossary kan pasti masuk sini otomatis karena lexicon bagian lexis. That's the simple way, the simple explanation. Okay, a distinction must nevertheless be drawn between the terms. Ya, ini sudah. And dictionary on the other, while each of the first three may refer to the total word stock. Ya. Sementara setiap dari tiga di atas, vocab, lexis, and lexicon, may refer the total word stock. Ya, karena lexis, vocabulary, lexicon adalah keseluruhan total kata dalam sebuah language. Nah, keseluruhan kata ya dalam sebuah language. Nah, language itu sebetulnya apa? Apakah semua yang ada di dictionary itu language? Not really, because dictionary keeps developing over time. Yeah, that's why dictionary has its own edition. For example, edition 1, edition 2, edition 3, and continue to the unlimited edition maybe, because there is language death, ada kematian bahasa. Maksudnya bahasa yang tidak digunakan. Contohnya kalau kita lama-kelamaan mengajari anak kita bahasa Indonesia terus, bisa juga nanti bahasa Kerama itu hilang atau punah, sehingga dia tidak masuk dalam kamus bahasa Jawa, karena yang digunakan atau diterbitkan di suatu zaman pasti kata-kata yang sedang eksis di waktu itu. Yeah, for example, the newest terminology in health field. Nah, contohnya medical field. During this pandemic, there is a new word called COVIDiot. Nah, selama masa pandemi ini ada kata baru COVIDiot, yaitu COVID plus idiot, atau orang yang dablek kalau dikandani suruh protokol kesehatan itu. Nah, jadi semua karena language itu berasal dari Creole. Creole itu kalau di sosiolinguistik dia berasal dari bahasa yang biasa digunakan dulu itu dalam perdagangan yang dipahami bersama. Nah, setelah itu diteliti oleh diformulasi oleh linguis, ya, linguis masuk ke kamus baru itu dibakukan, namanya pembakuannya leksikografi di selanjutnya itu namanya. Nah, leksikografi kita akan diskusikan selanjutnya. Lexicology deals not only with simple words in all their aspect, but also with complex and compound words, the meaningful units of language. Yeah. Later on in this module, we'll learn the way to form words or word formations. Yeah, word formation like coinage, blending, compound words, that sort of thing. For example, like brunch. I'm sure you've known brunch, the combination of breakfast and lunch. For example, motorcycle, hotel. Nah, for example, overthinking, kan dari kata over lalu thinking. Nah, that's sort of the compound words yang digabung. Since these units must be analyzed in respect of their form and meaning, lexicology relies on information derived from morphology. Yeah, lexicology, the study of word, relies on information derived from morphology. Morphology ada logi lagi. Logi means science. Morpho means the morpheme. Ya, the smallest meaningful unit of language. Nah, contohnya kata books. Ya, books itu kan ada tambahan s itu. Nah, s itu dia morfem, sekalipun dia s, tapi dia menandakan kata tersebut itu jumlahnya lebih dari satu. Nah, itu the smallest meaningful unit of language. That's what so called as morpheme. Nah, gitu. Maka dari itu lexicology nanti tembusnya ke kamus, karena di kamus itu kan ada perubahan kata. Contohnya gini, dari verb ke noun, contohnya ya, colonialize untuk menjajah. Nah, kalau penjajahan itu berubah menjadi colonialization, nah gitu. Itu kan dia menjadi colonialization kan dari kata kolonial, ya, tambah ice menjadi verb. Kolonial itu adjektif. Lalu colonialize ditambah ation menjadi colonialization, jadi noun. Nah, itu pentingnya morphology, the study of words and their components. Nah, komponennya tadi tambahan-tambahan entah di awal entah di akhir gitu. A third field of particular interest in lexicological studies is etymology, the origins. Ya, jelas ya, ini asal usul kata. However, lexicology must not be confused with lexicography. Nah, gini, tapi Anda harus tahu perbedaan lexicology dan lexicography, yang mana dia adalah penulisan atau kompilasi dari kamus, ya, kata-kata yang dimasukkan ke kamus, which is a special technique rather than level of language study. Nah, teknik yang digunakan untuk memasukkan kata-kata ke kamus. And the second one, lexicography, ya, I have stated earlier a bit about it. Let's move. The last field, which is of special interest in lexicological studies, is lexicography, yang sudah didefinisikan sebagai a special technique, ya, special technique, the writing and the compilation of dictionaries. Jadi teknik spesial untuk menulis atau mengkompilasi ke dalam kamus, ya. This definition may be considered rather restrictive, ya, kaku. It's in its widest sense. Lexicography may also refer to principles. Nah, cara-cara atau prinsip yang melatar belakangi proses penulisan atau edit dalam kamus. Some of those principles are clearly lexical or lexicological in nature. Nah, of course, all things input into a dictionary must have been studied in terms of its lexicology. Nah, semua yang masuk ke kamus pasti sudah dipelajari lewat ilmu lexicology tadi, ya. While others stem from the specific domain of book production and marketing. Ya, intinya cara penulisan lah, memasukkan ke kamus. But lexicographical compilation may be considered as derived from lexicological theory. Nah, tentu saja kompilasi lexikografi tadi diambil dari teori leksikologi. Nah, gitu. It is in the sense that lexicography can be regarded as applied lexicology. Nah, applied lexicology itu apa? Applied kan seperti kita mungkin familiar dengan kata aplikasi, ya. Leksikologi tadi studi tentang kata. Maka dari itu leksikografi atau teknik-teknik menginputkan atau mengkompilasi kata ke dalam kamus adalah hasil aplikasi dari study of words begitu. Jadi orang mempelajari dulu kata-kata lalu diaplikasikan. Nah, namanya itu leksikografi. Maksudnya itu gini, ya, applied, yang diaplikasikan. However, it should be acknowledged that it is only in recent years that the link between lexicography and linguistics have been clearly established. For example, the accuracy and consistency in transcription of words and the adoption of a descriptive as opposed to a prescriptive approach to lexicography are direct application of linguistic principles. Nah, okay, here we know that lexicography and linguistics are distinguished, yeah, because somehow lexicography need linguistic theory so that what is written in a dictionary is based on the study of language. Nah, karena yang di kamus itu kan contohnya ada transcription, ada cara membaca kata tersebut ya. Nanti dictionary kita next week kita belajar how to use dictionary, tapi kemarin kan sudah saya kasih sekilas ya. Ada simbolnya, ada part of speech, apakah verb, noun, adjective, adverb. Nah, maka dari itu leksikografi ini juga berasal memiliki kontribusi ya dari linguistik atau ilmu tentang bahasa gitu. It may be argued that initially lexicography developed its own principles and tradition independently of linguistics in general, but this is no longer the case. In fact, since current dictionaries are compiled mainly by lexicographers who have been trained in linguistics, one should expect a more direct and more substantial input from lexicology. Nah, dulunya kan mereka terpisah, lexikografi dan linguistik ya. Nah, tapi sekarang kamus yang baru itu mereka ditulis oleh lexicographer ya yang menulis atau mengaplikasikan ke kamus. Nah, lexicographernya sekarang itu merupakan orang yang sudah dilatih oleh linguis atau sudah belajar ilmu kebahasaan. Nah, jadi ini akan memperkaya hasil penelitian dari lexicology tadi, penelitian atau studi tentang kata. However, it should be pointed out that lexicology is not the only branch of linguistics which provide an input of lexicography. Nah, perlu dipahami kalau lexicology tidak hanya satu-satunya yang berpengaruh dari ilmu linguistik yang berpengaruh dalam lexicography. Nah, ada juga morphology tadi yang saya sampaikan, sintaks itu ya yang penulisan kalimat diteliti satu-satu, itu nanti Anda belajar ini membedah kalimat itu ada apa lagi, ada tree diagram, ada macam-macam. And phonology is a study of phone atau studi tentang bunyi ya, mempelajari tentang bunyi-bunyian, cara membaca. And sociolinguistics too. Nah, tadi kan saya bilang di awal ada sociolinguistik ya. Dia berperan dalam pembentukan awal sebuah bahasa. Ada Creole, lalu nanti kalau orang yang banyak bisa bahasa itu ada diglosia, nah macam-macam. Nah, jadi mereka itu berkolaborasi menjadi satu dalam lexicography tadi. Not only in the study and selection of the language variety to be used, but also in the inclusion of information on style and register. Ya, karena sosiolinguistik ini itu kan sangat berkaitan dengan budaya ya, sosial dan linguistik, ilmu tentang bahasa tapi yang ada di sosial ya. Contohnya gini, kalau dalam bahasa Jawa gini, register itu kan dan style itu kan kaitannya dengan gaya berbicara. Register kaitannya dengan siapa teman bicara kita. Kalau dalam sosiolinguistik, contohnya kita orang Jawa, kalau ngomong dengan orang yang lebih tua, itu otomatis kita akan mengubah cara berbicara kita, yaitu menjadi code switching. Jadi kita mengubah kode kita menjadi kromo ya. Lalu umpama yang dijak ngomong itu, umpama gini kasusnya, kita sedang dolan ke rumah teman. Nah, itu kan kita pasti ngoko ya. Tapi ketika ada ibunya masuk, kita kan akan mengubah kode kita, code switching namanya, menjadi kromo. Nah, ketika ibu dan teman Anda ngobrol bareng, kita akan menggunakan code mixing, dicampur. Kalau ngomong sama teman ngoko, kalau sama ibu itu krama ya, that sort of thing. Well, I guess that's all the material. Thank you very much and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.